So welcome to this, I usually say Thursday, but this week we're doing Monday. Monday's live. Hi Donna. I take it from your punctuality you've been sat waiting. we got a giveaway today that I planned as a way of saying thank you for everyone's support in this competition that I've entered. I won. I haven't won. I don't know if I've won or not. Hi Louise. So without any further ado, in terms of the prize, I'm going to show you what's up for grabs, and all you have to do, and I've put it in the little description, if you would like to win this, is make sure that you've liked the Very Chic Emporium page, and then just nominate 2 people that you know, tag them into this feed, into the comments underneath, that might also like to win the prize, and then it will be drawn. So what I've got is I've created and sent off 4, and there is only 2 of these in the world, and I'm keeping 1. It's a little hardback book, and I will sign it to whoever wins it. And in each page, and there are 20 pages, there is really nice quality, shiny, glossy of my artwork so far this year. It's really nice quality paper. The pictures have come out really high quality print. It's got all the pictures that you've seen me do and post, and even a couple of my older ones that I did earlier on. Okay, so I will sign it, and then it's even got this mixed media one on the back, and it says Paula Rolls. So this is up for grabs, and as I say, all you've got to do is make sure you like Very Chic Emporium page and nominate 2 people in the comments under this feed who might like to win this. I will post it anywhere. I'll post it to the US, you know, anywhere at all. It's not that big, so that was the deliberate plan. I'm going to put it well out of the way, otherwise I'm bound to splatter ink on it, or paint on it. Right, well hopefully I'm not frozen now. So, I had a plan today, and I've not done it. Mainly because I didn't wake up in that mood. So my original plan, and I'll show you, this is what I do. When I have I think it's probably an artist temperament kind of thing, but I have days where I'm, I guess what I would call flat, and I just sit and I don't really feel like doing anything, and I'm very unmotivated. And I felt a bit like that this weekend, so I just watch crap on the TV, eat, not much else, and I sit there with my sketchbook and I just doodle out ideas. So this was the idea of what I was going to do, which was the phoenix rising from the flame, and I think the drawing's not bad on that, so that was sort of quite solidly my idea for today. But it didn't, I just woke up, just wasn't feeling red and orange and glowy. I was still feeling a bit, So I've done some other sketches, and I'm really feeling the drumming today. So, and I wanted to go with the earth colours, sort of, I don't know, I wondered if that was just what I was drawn to when I looked at all my colours. So I had a half-hour session of chucking the paint on. So I've started off with acrylics, mainly just these 3 colours, which is a burnt sienna, this one's primary yellow, and hooker's green. I mixed into the match a little bit of this sort of coppery colour. There's a bit of a coppery tint, and then I went a bit crazy with my fluids, pouring drips down, and before they sort of really got into drips I was using the mister to really go for it, and so they spread out and sort of create all these veins, which is really cool. And then the other thing that I chucked into the mix, and this will work better if the picture was flat in honesty, is some 99.9% alcohol. It's the hand sanitizer, but it reacts with the paint and it separates the paint. So if you've got your canvas or your paper flat and you put drops of this on, it will separate it and make bubbles. So when I do some I'm going to be doing a little bit more of my book at some point soon, and so that will be flat, so we'll have a go with that and I'll show you how that pans out. That's quite fun. So, and then I very quickly sketched out this. I kind of made this person up, and I did a few sessions in my book trying to get the proportion right, as you can see, and I'm not, you know, I even had feet up in the air. That didn't work out, and so I've done a few, but I think actually the one that I've done on here looks probably better than all of them, so that's just as well I had a practice. So what I'm going to do, hi Ruth, hi Sharon, hi Angie, I can see you are already starting to tag people in. If anyone missed it, just quickly before I start and get my hands all messy, this is up for grabs, which is there's only 2 in the world, a book full of all of my artwork. I've got the other one, and this is going out to some lucky winner, and all you've got to do is make sure you like Fairy Chic Emporium page and nominate 2 people in this feed that you think might like it as well. So I'm going to do what I usually do once I've sort of got my image out. I try to make the shape within it a little bit more full of interesting colours and transitions, layers, and I'll probably use a few tools to make that happen. So I've got a paintbrush at the moment. I had to sort of do this canvas bit first because it was soaking. I had the sprit mister going all over the place and I needed to dry it off with a hairdryer before I could get into the painting. So just at the moment the picture's very straight down and obviously the drum is quite round, so I want to just start to give that impression of the drum. I've avoided detailed hands. I'll try to simplify my shapes. Get some water going. Right. So I did most of my background using my usual tool. This copper actually looks really nice in that, so I'm going to add a bit more to that. And I did get out a blue. I don't think it really needs lots of blue, but obviously yellow and blue together make green. So logic says those colours should complement each other and should work. So I thought just a little nod of blue in places might work quite well, but we will see. And I've got several shades of blue, so it was a question of going through them to see which shade I thought would work. And I've got this one, and I thought it might work in places. We'll try it. I don't know how it's going to turn out. You know, I have to go with my mood, and I'm quite glad for the distraction today because I'm feeling, I don't know if any of you other creative people get days where you just feel a bit, yeah. Today's one of those. So I could sit around feeling sorry for myself, or I could just do something, get on with something. So this is probably something good. Now a little bit of blue in there is not bad. I'm going to lighten it up with a bit of white. I quite like, I look at the paintings that I've got all around me, trying out different colour combinations as well, so that I don't have a whole ton of pictures that all look the same. But I like the idea of this sort of being in the middle of the woods. I have never been, but I have got sort of, well, I guess acquaintances more than friends, that go to a drumming circle in the woods regularly, and I've never tried it, but I guess it might be cool. So I'm going to play around with that drum, but I just wanted to sort of get some, so you could see it. So I'm tapping it to my white, the titanium white, and a tiny bit of the green, just to start pulling out, go around the edges so that you can see the shape easier. I tend to do this. It helps me firm up the shape if there's anything wrong with it. And if you are someone that works with your artwork flat, it's a good, at this stage, if you to follow the same sort of routine that I do when you're getting, is get it up on the wall or get it propped up to make sure that your shape is in proportion. You can go back down again and work on it flat, but it changes when it's upright, and obviously its final finishing place is going to be upright on a wall, so you kind of need to make sure that, especially with faces and people, that it is in proportion, because it looks different flat than it looks upright. So now we have our shape. I'll just do a little bit in there. And I'll just take a brief step back just to check, as I say, the proportion is right. But that's kind of picked out, and it probably won't stay all the same colour all the way round. I need to put some black in, but this is just like my first round. It's got no black in it at all at the moment. So if I step back, I can see that that's pretty good in proportion. That's not bad. Well, that's cool, isn't it? Yeah, maybe I should try it. That's got to be a coincidence. Oh, maybe there's no such thing as coincidences, huh? So I'm going to just use my fingers and sort of create some patterns in this. I imagine just being amongst nature and just having a rhythmic drum beating must be quite, I don't know, I guess like a form of meditation. Do you go into a sort of trance? I don't know. Just finding space to not get away from, but put some sort of perspective on life's challenges. So I'm using the same set of colours at the moment, but I'm blending them on the canvas directly with my fingers. I want them to be very blended, and if they're not, I'll just use water to smooth them in. Okay, so got a little bit of this lovely copper here. I'm still using acrylics at the moment because I'm still kind of only on my second layer, and I will be using the fluid acrylics when I get a bit more in, because the fluid acrylics are really like the top layer, and they are more translucent, and so you don't really want to waste them on the early layers. Although, I mean, these aren't wasted. I don't know what I shall do with the background, that's not finished yet, but it kind of got me in the mood of the woods. I'm finding it that the heat is really hot down here in the south at the moment. I'm in South UK and it's so humid. I've got fans on permanently in the house. We don't like have air conditioning in the UK. It's very rare because it doesn't last very long, any heat, but I struggle with it, and then I struggle to sleep. The dog struggles to sleep. He's on and off the bed every 5 flipping seconds because he wants to cuddle, but then it gets too hot. So then he has to get off and go on the floor, but then he wants to cuddle, and so it goes on. So then I'm exhausted, or I tend to lie in later than I want to. And it's a bit of an ongoing circle. So you can see the white is really starting to help pop this out. And I've got a sort of darker side and a lighter side. That seems to have happened. So I've got no sun obviously at the top yet anywhere. I probably won't, but I shall probably go where this will be lighter, this will be darker, to make sense of it. Now, if anyone's joined us since I started, I can't pick it up now because my fingers are dirty, but I've got a little book, sort of postcard size, of all my artwork, about 20 really nice quality images, which I'm giving away, and I will sign it to whoever wins. And all you've got to do is make sure you like Fairy Chic page and tag 2 people in the comments underneath that you think might like this kind of artwork, might like to be in with a chance to win too. Now I can almost feel, beckoning here, a little shout to some orange. I don't want to sort of move away from the wood, so this copper is kind of helping with that. I have also got, if you're going to get one golden fluid, get this one. It's just got, well, white. I would recommend the white, the black. If you're gonna, these aren't cheap. These are about £8 each, but they go a long way. So white, black, and this one is called, I can hardly see it because my eyesight's not good, Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold, and it kind of looks a bit brown, but it's got a lovely warm glow. I'm going to put a little bit on with my finger, we'll see. And as I say, because it is the fluid, they're translucent, so you can still see the layers underneath, so you don't lose what you've got, and that's really nice. I use the, sort of giving a little back to an orange there a little bit. I use the white and the black to do my sketchy lines, because they last, because they're fluid, they're much thinner as a paint, so you can do quite a lot of lines before you have to sort of top up your brush, whereas with the thicker acrylics you just can't do that. It stodges up. So you could water down thicker acrylics, but it does just work really well with these fluids. You can get them on Amazon. You can't get them in, like, I went to the range, I don't know about Hobbycraft in the UK, but the range had none of the paints that I use at all. So I get everything online. If anyone wants links, I shall write it afterwards. That's fine. So a little bit of blue in there. I'm going to just lighten up. See, the blue and the yellow should look quite stunning next to each other. And they do. So let's get on and do some of her face. She's going to have a lighter face on that side. So you can see I'm sort of just using my finger to smudge on as much as I can, and I'm kind of rolling my finger because it's got excess of other colours that I've dipped my finger into. And then I could either add water on my finger or just a little bit with the mister. And I don't mind at this stage if we get a few drips, because they can be either cleaned up or they might work. So, and again, I'm going to sort of follow through with that, the darker side here. Bit of copper. At the moment, just picking out. And I want to get some of this blue. I don't know what this hat is, I sort of made it up. Don't know what it is. It felt tribal. There. Now she's going to have I'm going to do this white, but once I get on with the black, there's going to be some black shadow under here too, because it's under her head, so it would be a shadow, but she's also got quite a lot of light coming on this side, so we'll start with some white. I did some sort of necklacey thing there, but I can sort that out. I think she possibly needs some ears. So this is where I use that fluid. So yeah, I'll just use a tiny bit with a paintbrush to just fill those in. Not necessarily the correct colours yet, but I don't want to forget about them. Now I'll draw them in, so. She might have some big earrings, I suppose, but we'll see. I've done a very simple face features, and I'm probably not going to go into much more detail than what I've already shown. Hi Shaz, how you doing? Hope you're feeling better. Hi Dina, hi Deidre, hi Deb. I'm in drumming mode today. I'm trying to drum out my flat mood. So stick to keeping the white on one side, which should probably help me lighten up this side more now, because now that's the chosen light side. This is acrylic fluid white, so it's just delicious. And if you've seen me paint before, you'll know this painting's going to change loads between now and the end. Hi Denise, how you doing? I know I told you I was going to do the Phoenix, didn't I? And I was all geared up, and then I woke up in a mood, and nothing's happened, it's just me. So, I wasn't in the mood for bright orange. I'll have to save that sketch for another day. I'm not going to be reborn today. So I'm going back in with my white. I might use a bit of yellow this time, white and yellow on the sponge. And we're going to just lighten up this side a bit in lieu of the light coming from here. This has got a bit messy from my earlier haphazard spraying. That's okay. So we'll just leave that for now. I'm going to just spray a little bit, which will help blend it out just a bit more. And then you just scratch it out. Comes a bit like dry brushing. I don't want to go right up to the figure because the figure's got the white outline. So I've kind of got some dark behind it to help push it out. And then I can probably start a little bit with my black, and that will help me move forward. It's a funny looking phoenix. It is, isn't it? So I'm adding now a little bit of black to the green, just dabbing it in, because I don't want a solid black at this point. I like a rich black. I want that sort of blended in. Still got some of the yellow on my brush. That's okay. Just some of the dark. Around here. Don't know how much we need yet, so I'm going in gentle. Just around the darker areas. I think probably need a bit around there. That's some dark down there. So I use this tool a lot at this stage. It's just a non-exact. Just get the colour spread on, and then I do the more detailed work when I'm finishing it off. So I don't know quite how that's probably needs to be dark there too, actually, looking at it. I'm not sure I want to lose all of this gorgeousness here. That was kind of my happy accident drippy affair. Probably needs to be darkened a little bit. So we'll see. Started to see her a bit clearer now. Thank you, Alison. Hello, hello, hello. Right, while my fingers have dried off, I'll just show you guys that have joined since. This is my giveaway, and it is a little hardback book with all of my artworks in really nice shiny quality paper. There's 20 pictures in there. I will sign it to whoever wins. It's got a nice little heart on the back from me. And there is only 2 in the world, and I'm keeping the other one. And I'm going to give away that one, and all you have to do to qualify and to be in the draw, if you like, is to make sure you like Fairy Chic and Poem page and nominate 2 people in this conversation, in the feed, that you think might also like my work and or be in with a chance to also be in the draw. That's what you got to do. It's really lovely though. I got it through and I thought, oh, it's lovely. So, if I say so myself, it sounds a bit vain, doesn't it? There might be a little bit of a correction there, maybe. Balance it out. I'm not sure if this is a man or a woman, could be either really. Let's just stick with either. I don't really have a plan with this colour. I'm just sort of placing the colours next to the colour that I think will help pop out the colour it's next to, if that makes sense. And like blue looks really nice next to yellow. They are both primary colours, and of course they make between them the green. Hence these colours are a natural choice to go together. And then I've added some brown, some burnt sienna and some copper, and I've got this gold-y colour that I really like, just to add a little bit of orange, which will look good next to the blue because it's the complementary colour of blue. So now all of this drum has got to be a lot more detailed, which will be sort of towards the end, where you probably use the black fluid too. Sometimes I just use what do you call it, a Posca pen. They're acrylic paint, and you've got a lot more control for straight lines. I don't think there's any shame in that. I think that's fine. So if you're not very good at controlling detailed sort of straight lines, Posca pen. I tend to, I don't know if you can see, I've got my little finger resting on the canvas, and that acts as a kind of prop to keep my hand steady on the canvas, because if you're just putting the brush like that, it's actually really hard to, I'm right down quite, if I'm doing detailed stuff, like holding it like a pencil really close up. Whereas if I want to be a bit more free and I don't really sort of mind so much, I might hold the paintbrush quite far back, and I might even use the other hand just to create some less controlled marks. This is what I want to say, yeah. I think that needs some weight on top. Got some white there. What's in here? Got restless dog syndrome in the background. I expect it still sounds like I'm in a goldfish bowl. It's because I'm on a main road and traffic's constantly flowing outside. You'd never know we ever had COVID down here. At the moment, traffic's just back to proper busy. As you can hear. Just trying to sort of gradually move into the middle circle of the top of the drum. I knew someone once that used to paint people's drums, paint animals. Some people that do the drumming believe they've got like a guardian animal, don't they, watching them. And she used to paint them. She was very good at it. On the drum. So just by adding layers and layers and repeating the shape of the circle and gradually sort of bringing the roundness to it, also keeping the light on this side. And the dark on the other side. She's starting to stand out. Hi Zoe. Half price in Poscopin. Thank you, Kerry. Is that a bubble in the breast there? Not bubble. I've just kind of done a chest, I suppose. I don't think it will stay. There's no bubble. I just kind of wanted, I didn't really know what she or he was going to wear, and maybe she doesn't have to wear anything or he doesn't have to wear anything. It's just going to be pattern. I just wanted to give the impression of that bone structure, so it would be slightly darker underneath. So if I go back in with the fluid white now to firm up some of the lines, again using my little fingers prop. As you can see, I'm totally avoiding these hands, because I don't like hands. So that probably will end up being dark actually, that side, but I often just keep going around in circles, like firming up the shape and then messing it up again. But I reiterate that I'm on the right journey. So this has got some It's amazing how therapeutic art is, how much better I feel as soon as I can get myself motivated to start. I like this light feel like this light needs to be up there. Yeah, but he's on restless mode. I think he thinks there might be food around. He's following the food. So this doesn't have to be all white at all. I might go in with some more of the drips using my white fluid. Let's see what that looks like. These sometimes maybe got better to shake up. And I often, because of the nozzle, I've used them to help draw. Because I don't necessarily want everything to be perfect, just they are very cool for this, and they kind of even just stick out a little bit, give you some see what that looks like. I haven't got a model, I've made it up. It's a bit big chested at the moment, this thing going on, so I probably need to do something with that. Yes, change that line. This is why I had this kind of necklace. I made this hat up or whatever it is she's got on. It's just going for tribally thing. I might have to just Google something to put around her neck. Just to... I'm not without entirely reference pictures. I look up clip art shapes and so forth. But actually for this I didn't. Well, I did, but I didn't find anything I liked. So I just kind of kept making it up. And I'll show you in a minute, those that missed the beginning, because I did show. I had quite a lot of, for want of a better word, bodgy trials. But that's how these things, that's the importance of a sketch pad really, and I can sit and do this. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling orange. So this was my original plan. Can you see? I've originally pencil drew it, and then I drew it over in a black pen just so as it would be easier to show on camera. So this is my kind of phoenix, and there's a kind of person. It's going to be full of bold orange colours and very cool. And I've done rather rubbish. Can you see? Come on, the drumming girl. Very big-headed mother and child. And then this was the start of what I'm doing today. But obviously her hands aren't on the drum, and I think she was all a bit squatty. So I started again, but I didn't like where the legs were. And I've just sat there for ages while I'm just watching TV, sketching, and just seeing what would come. And I'm going to see what happens when I put the spritzer on this fluid. It doesn't happen on acrylics, on the thicker acrylics, but it happens on the fluids. They really spread. I really like it. So I'll leave that for now. Like that lot. Yeah, so you have to be in the mood for whatever it is you're doing. And when I went to look at my colours, these were the colours I wanted to be with today. Something good, earthy. So, and I think that is some of the thing of like if you do a plan the day before, depends on the mood the day before, and then you go to it the next day, and It's not the same mood. And if you do half a picture, it becomes quite difficult to then finish it on another day because you're not in the same mood. Sometimes I then end up just blanking out the picture and starting again. I've done that before. So there we go. Now with this wonderful tool, you see, I shall use, I keep flitting around from details to background. That's just because I need to see it evolving. But this makes wonderful, which I just feel that actually works quite well as part of the woods, the magic in the air. Quite like that. Play around with backgrounds. Backgrounds got to be interesting. Obviously I've got a focal point, but I want your eye, every time you look at it, to see something different that you didn't see before. Do lots of, quite liking this waterfall going on here. Just need to take it up to the top. Flood of light. I need a bit more, I think, here. It's just yummy stuff. I've done a bit of grey there, which needs to be broken up a bit. So I'll leave that to run for a bit. Have a good day at work. Yeah, I quite like the light streaming in. Obviously this drip needs cleaning up. It's okay. So we can just get a little bit of tissue. The excess off. Like so. Yeah, that's okay. And then I'll just touch up. How are we doing for time? Oh, nearly at my hour already. So I'm going to just use, I've got water on my brush and I'm just going to use it to extend some of those white bits that I drew on with the nozzle. Because they're still quite prone to drips, which is fine, but I'm just going to use them to go a little bit further. I'm going to have to make this arm properly stand out. Okay, so this is the brow, cheekbone's going to be lighter, top lip, and a bit of the circle there. So those are all the places that all the light's going to fall on. I'm really liking the feel of how this feels like a really nice deep red. I actually think it's just the sienna. So I'm going to go, I want to add a bit more of that gold and a bit more of that reddy feeling to copper it up. Because again, the red is working really well next to the green. Just trying to find the palette that makes it all work together, pulls it all together, and like getting sufficient contrast. Don't like this line going on here at all. That's got to go. I'm going to start with some white. Now you could do this in chalk paint. You could do this in, you couldn't do it in watercolours, not in the same way. I was explaining to somebody yesterday, the difference with acrylics and chalk paint is you can't put white chalk paint on the top of something as dark as that and have it show straight away. You'd have to put layers and layers on. But acrylics, you can put white straight on top and it immediately shows. So that's one of the bonuses of acrylics. But if you haven't got acrylics, don't go out and buy expensive acrylics. Mess around with what you've got. Now, I'm really pleased that I went with my gut. Now, I wasn't in the mood when I started. I really wasn't feeling it. Especially when I looked at my Phoenix. But now it's underway, I'm really enjoying looking at it. I should probably fill the rest of my day just playing with it, putting some loud music on. And playing with it. So, I think we're at the end of our, yeah, the white looks really cool on it, I agree. And it's just nice having the contrast of the really dark down here. Need to just keep moving around the painting and seeing where that goes. So I'm just trying to wipe my finger off a bit because I don't want to get it on the book. That's my last shout to you, because we are at time. Right, so for those of you, one more shout out. Here's my book. It's a hardback. It says on the side artwork 2020. It says obviously let's paint, and there's a few of my images on the front. I will dedicate the book to whoever wins, and there is some really nice quality pictures. They're on lovely glossy paper, and it's got all of my artworks that you've seen me do over the last few months. There's 20 pictures. Including a couple of my old ones, some of my fun quirky ones, and my rabbit. And then there's a heart at the back, which is my mixed media work, and it says on the back by Paula Rolls. So this is up for grabs, and all you have to do to win it is make sure that you like the Fairy Chic Emporium page and nominate 2 people, tag 2 people in to this feed that you think might like to watch my painting and might indeed like to be up for the draw as well. That's all you've got to do, and I shall draw the winner next week. Okay, so I will carry on. I will take some pictures, and what I always do is upload this feed to YouTube, and I take lots of pictures of the stages along the way so you can see how it progressed from here and then on in, and then obviously see the finished picture as well. So thank you for joining me today, really appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed watching what I've been doing. Thank you very much. See you very soon.